if you want it now. Previously on Logliners, Dave pitched a movie called Guns and Ammo during one of his pitch sessions, and we all like that very, very much. And we've been thinking about it kind of nonstop. We keep seeing this big movie poster in our brains with Jason Momoa on the front cover with some crazy gun that we're going to try to come up with today. So today on Logliners, we want to catch up where we left off, which is reading a bit of John Wick, how they do action, how this writer did action in a screenplay format. We want to talk about how to get the promise of the premise, guns and ammo, to the audience's screens. And I think we're going to go on Fiverr to figure that out. And what else are we going to do?
I think that's pretty much it. I think really just figuring out how to write a movie well.
All right, which we'll probably never do. So here is page 22 of 101 from John Wick. Exterior, a cityscape, establishing day. Exterior, Takeshi's Automotive, establishing. An old, quiet, and clean building lost amongst dozens of others in a dying industrial park. Exterior, Takeshi's Automotive, continuous. A bus pulls up to the curb, pauses for a beat, and then rolls off, leaving behind John, who walks across the street, his expression blank. His gait is steady, his shoulders relaxed, hands limp at his sides, breath steady. The two guards at the door glance up as he approaches, standing as they shift into character. What are you? Without slowing, John reaches into the man's jacket, slips free the pistol from the shoulder holster therein, and thump, thump, fires twice into the man's heart, before turning, thump, to fire once into the other guard's face, never slowing, kicking open the door. Interior, Takeshi's Automotive, continuous. To enter the facility, shooting anything that moves. He's the angel of death. Each target receives 2 well-placed bullets to ensure incapacitation. He never slows, never misses, and will not stop. The primarily Japanese crew is in a picnic. That would be like great.
I like that's guns and ammo.
That's better. Is in a panic with most fleeing, a number of whom are shot in the back, while those choosing to shoot back are cut down in a blink. Once emptied, John drops his pistol, kneels, sweeps up a fallen gun up, levels, fires, always moving, and, as he passes by a lift, slaps a button, slowly lowering his Mustang down to the floor behind him.
Luke, can you put John Wick in a picnic?
He needs to be in a picnic. Just John Wick in a picnic. That's a good little short. So that's all I'm going to read. But I was interested in. This is something we haven't really tried. We've written drama. We've tried to write comedy. I've tried to write drama. Musical. I tried to write musical.
That was a try hard.
That was a try hard.
Couple musicals.
The action sequence thing is kind of new to us. I like what he's doing here, which is he's describing what you see, but I think he's leaving enough to like the choreographers.
I agree.
Because it would be hard. I was thinking like if you watch a Jet Li movie or something, they don't write. He kicks with his left foot into the man's face. He kicks with his right foot into his eye.
Right.
And this stuff happens so quick. So this is a great example. I think this is exactly how Guns and Ammo should be written, which is we're capturing what John Wick's character is through this fighting. He's the smoothest, fastest gunman, and I haven't seen John Wick yet. I keep saying I will, but I envision like those videos of Keanu Reeves training for this and how fast he is at just like,
Yeah.
I think that's exactly the vibe for this. So the difference here with Guns and Ammo is that these guns are all invented by our main character.
Yeah, I think the thing with John Wick that escalates is, and it'll escalate in this movie as well, is like the choreography. But I would want to see Fast and Furious mixed with Titanic, Luke. I would want to see Fast and Furious as cars, right? You really think it has been broader than that, but they always bring it back to vehicles at least. John Wick is really this more like suave, very like he makes it look easy type.
Mm-hmm. He's like a James Bond-ish to an extreme.
Very James Bond. So I'm like, what is Guns and Ammo? I don't think he's that. I don't want to say he's a brute because I think that definition may be skewed. Mm-hmm. But I do think he's more of this like everyday
He's like-
soldier type. You know,
Okay.
like I want him. I think, I just want to find that definition because I honestly don't see him exactly like John Wick. I see him more
like a farmer who builds weapons.
Yeah.
But he was Blackwater, like our special ops.
Right.
So you got to what
So-
was he special ops?
correct.
That wasn't.
right.
you
He
know-
has to be that.
You were never the fighter kind of guy.
Right.
Maybe more like a tactical team leader or something like that. I don't know the roles on those teams.
Yeah, but he would have to be obviously trained like John Wick. That's the issue I was
Sure.
having too. Like if he had that background, he has to be like that. But how do we in the movie define it differently? I do think it could just be the guns. It is.
Do they have? I mean, we can make this up, of course, but do they have a weapons expert on those teams? If we go
In
out
video
on a job,
games.
video games exactly.
Like the guys, like I do the weapons
Well, if-
loadout. And
if we go
here's
out on a
what
job,
like,
we have
yeah.
this, like Kyle with the Ronin or something. There's somebody who sort of knows all the gear. We have Dave who can pretty much use the gear if you give it to him and show it to him, and here are all the buttons. You're good at doing this.
Yeah.
And then we have the guy who knows everything about it, who can rebuild it if it's fucked up. So maybe he's just the weapons expert on the team. He doesn't really like fighting, but he knows how.
I'm just thinking, man, but Kyle as John Wick would not go well.
Yeah.
Put a John Wick
John
Kyle's face
Wark.
on it.
John Wark. Wark. Carl Wark.
Tile.
Oh yeah, tile.
Tile and ammo.
So
Ooh.
I don't know. That's where I would go. Is how close can we get him to what his new job is? Which he's semi-retired or whatever, but his new hobby is just building guns. That could that have been his job on a team that would go on missions. So in the actual plot of the movie, we talked about this off screen. What's his name? Noah. Noah was on a Blackwater team that did special ops missions, sort of like for the U.S. government, but not actually military. So they were off the grid from the military, but doing some crazy stuff. And there were some factions inside the bigger organization that split off and started doing illegal things, including what we ultimately find out toward the end of the middle-ish end of the movie is human trafficking. What would those missions be, and how could those missions be tied to the bigger plot? What was the last mission before Noah was like, I'm out, I'm not doing this anymore? Because that's kind of the start of, it might not be the start of our movie in the screen sense, but it's sort of the start of this plot line for who this guy is.
Is Blackwater yeah, now I'm thinking, yeah, he worked for this agency thing that was off the grid kind of, and is that the thing that turned kind of evil, and he used to work for the thing that now is...
Well, I think the ultimate reveal, personally, is Blackwater was never good or evil. They're just a contractor.
Yeah, true.
You know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so I'm like, the Russian government could hire you, the Chinese government could hire you, who's paying the most? We have the best people to do missions. So I don't think they ever really were, and maybe that's where he was disenfranchised, because he sort of had this idea he's a specialist to the nth degree when it comes to weapons. That's how he got this job. He's like the best weapons guy. I think maybe he joined Blackwater with all of his friends. Maybe he was like a Marine or in the Army or something. He had some other in, and he thought, well, these are the guys that don't have to follow the crazy military rules, but we can still do the good work. And then he realizes in there that it's like, well, we just do the work. It's not necessarily the good work. It's just, so, and I kind of would like to toe that line for a theme of the whole entire series, which would be like, even the good guys are the bad guys sometimes. It's not so black. We make it, when we're younger, we feel like everything's so black and white, and like, well, our team couldn't be the bad guys, right?
course.
Like, we are, not to, and I love this country and everything, but you know what I mean? Like,
Right, yeah.
we get a little bit too much on the side of everything we do is good. And I think that would be a good, like, sort of a theme that he's fighting with internally that ultimately the answer there is some true morally right and wrong out there. When it comes to human trafficking, it's all wrong. There's no good version. There's no good people that are involved with that when it comes to making money from it or participating in it or trying to benefit in it from any way. Or
You're speaking the theme, and I like his daughter Lana going into his, because they're just playing hide and seek, and she goes back to his gun workshop, and her sister and mom are surfing, and she's like, I'm not good at anything, and he's like, you'll find your purpose. They go into the gun thing, and she says the welcome to the gun show as a joke, and he's just like, you still think that's funny, huh? She's like, I do. And then she's just like looking at the gun, she's like, cool, what's this? And he explains it, and she's like, my friend, whatever her name, Katie, says guns are bad and her parents think that you're bad. And he's just like, well, maybe they're right. and he's just like,
Katie's dad's a banker, right?
there you go. And she's like,
yeah.
But he can say kind of the way what you're saying. That's an important theme. Is just like, yeah, guns are bad. Bad guys have guns. Good guys have guns. And you're always going to think that I'm a good guy because I'm your dad.
Yeah.
But maybe I wasn't.
Yep.
You know, the things I did in my life, I had to work with these guns and do things, and that's probably poor to say, but
no,
some, you know,
the version, like, there's what's that Jet Li movie that Aaliyah was in, like, and Anthony, not Anthony Mackie, I'm thinking, he's in Blackish. Anthony, he's hilarious. Anthony Anderson's in that movie, but like one of my favorite parts of any movie is DMX like has a cameo, and he like
Rest in
people
peace.
start shooting up I think it's DMX, yeah, start shooting up his club. He owns this club, and he stands up and he's like shoots like an automatic weapon. He's like, yo, guns don't kill people, people kill people. And I'm like, there's the movie, you know, like it's a great fucking movie, by the way. So anyway, sorry for the sidebar. I love all of that. I think that kind of that's the bigger picture theme. We'll kind of start honing in on that as we write it, but I like that you went back to her in the gun shop and her looking at something and saying, what is this? Because that's really where I think those are the questions we have to answer now. The movie is called Guns and Ammo. If I see this movie, I want to see guns and ammo. I want to see, like, you know, that's the gimmick. That's what's going to set this movie apart in terms of action and fighting and everything. So let's talk guns.
Let's talk guns. And now that you just said that, it makes me think right off the bat, is he a weapons specialist making these very special weapons, modern weapons? He's not making these like kind of crazy modern old weapons, but for Blackwater, he's making these
like laser sighted that can shoot like 10
Right?
miles away or something.
What
insane.
if it's both? What if his hobby or the way he started was making those like old steampunky Revolutionary War things? Somewhere along the line, he gets separated from all his newfangled tactile weapons that are like stun or whatever, and he has to go back to his shop and just get like the weird ones. And he's like, here's my discard pile.
Yeah.
These are not practical weapons. No one would ever use
That's
these.
what he brings to the gun show.
That's all he has.
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brings those. But when he was, and that's his hobby. No, his hobby is to mess with those older guns and do this, like, he's really going wacky with it. But when he was in Blackwater, he had to make guns that were purposeful for what they were doing.
Yeah.
So he was actually like ahead of tech of the government. You know, we have to think
Got
of
it,
really.
yeah.
But what I'm thinking, you're saying all these gun things. If we do have a scene in the beginning where he's with this Blackwater, it could be a 5-10 minute scene, which I know is really lengthy. Let's say 5 minutes, 5 pages, maybe 10 pages. Where he's explaining this gun. We definitely don't see a lot of their faces. It's really dark, I would say. So, because one is probably Tom Hardy. And what if they're on this mission and he goes and they're infiltrating this terrorist group and they get them all and they don't know that he is still in the house and he uncovers something and it's his guns. And he's like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's when he realizes the twist.
Like that's
Yeah,
part
he's
of
just
his
like,
out, maybe.
well, that we don't know. It's a great, like, he just explained this gun to this person and what it does, and now he just saw one in the floorboards of this or in this weird safe.
Yep.
And he takes it and hides it, and he's like, okay, something's wrong here. Why did they have one of my guns?
Right.
So this could be a bigger overarching thing of like Blackwater was in some shady shit. He was in some shady shit. He's got to get out. He doesn't want any part of it. And then when Blackwater comes to his island, or it starts like Blackwater becomes the evil group knowingly and willingly because of the money, and they're just like kind of turning their heads at the evil shit that whoever is up top's doing.
So there's two things that
It's a great, at
that
least
popped
like
up for
what
me.
is happening? Why is this
Right.
happening? You're immediately like,
Well,
that needs to be answered.
again, this is kind of part of the theme, but I would say the way I see it is Blackwater is it's the same as like say the US government or a company like Google. You know, like Blackwater is not good or bad. It's just that like Blackwater is a building with a bunch of people who like
Or
crunch
experts in
numbers
each,
and like
part, and then
they,
make
I
the
mean they have
team, yeah.
secretaries, they have people, you know, that just work there, and they get contracts from the US government that are like, hey, we need to extract this person from a jail, but we're not allowed to like you step foot on the soil, so we're going to hire you to go extract. And then they hire these people at the lower levels of the business are just these crazy like SEAL people, and in there are guys who will do anything for money.
Correct.
And I think so it's not so much like Blackwater's bad or Blackwater's good. It's sort of like, hey man, we've been working for these people who actually don't give a fuck about anything.
But
We're
I
just
would
gonna
say
work.
Blackwater needs to be the ultimate boss.
I think
if
so.
this
Like,
is like
yeah,
a
yeah,
longer
that's fair.
format.
And like for
series.
audience too, I think.
So
is
I
better
think
to
It's gotta
understand.
climb up there.
I
That's
think
fair.
Blackwater, he was part of it, and it was exactly what you said. But he obviously went out for a reason. So when he saw this, he was like, oh, I get it. We're just like every other government. Like, my guns got into these hands, and now we're like taking them back, and they use that to kill maybe our people.
Right.
And that's always the big thing, right? U.S. government gives someone guns, they use it to kill people, and they were like, we gave those guns to them 30 years ago, and they're using it now. And like you said, is our team the good team?
Right.
And I think that's what he has this moral question about, which is a great plant there. And then it's a great plant to say, what is the thing that he is about? And then you go, okay, Blackwater kind of went evil. All these guys, in the beginning, it was, I'll do anything for money, blah, blah, blah. This is a government job. And then some of the people in there kind of banded together and said, yo, let's make a lot of money. Let's fucking work our way up to the ranks to the people that are hiring us, and let's fucking crush it.
Okay, I see.
Because I think it
That's
needs to
good.
be Blackwater versus Blackwater.
Yes.
At the end.
Yeah. There's factions. So this leads me to something I mentioned in the beginning is I want to talk about the twists, because like right now, from the outline you made is amazing, and I think it was just like a real get it out draft. But
It was like 10 minutes.
I do feel like there's an opportunity to have some twists here, even though we don't have to. Like some of these movies are really straight down the plate pitches. Like I saw that movie Extraction. Again, we talked about it on the last one. It's a great movie for some people. It's not for me, but it's, to me, very straight down the line pitch. I don't really recall a whole lot of like, oh no, that guy is like plot wise. I think it was like kind of Monster in the House type movie. It was like just get out of here, and we're being pursued like cat and mouse game.
I mean, like Taken, basically.
Yeah, which is great.
So
and that's
Ali's a bad guy.
That's it. So that's number 3.
Okay.
Twist number 1 is
You got to. He's FaceTiming him, or is he there? He's
Ali's got to be
happy.
bad,
Well-
but I think Tom Hardy has to be good. I think Tom Hardy's fighting the war that Noah doesn't know is going on. So Tom Hardy's the one who tells him, like, ultimately, we get to this battle scene, and the audience thinks this is the final battle. And it's like, dude, you're fucking everything up. Do you understand? And he even references that mission was the last mission that Noah went on. That maybe we have a flashback of in the beginning. He's like, this is where the split happened. I've been working for so and so. Maybe we plant like a character that's not in it, but like, Sergeant whatever,
What if he's been
He's
working
like
for
the-
himself, just like Momoa? I like that.
And he's like, look, I know it seems like I'm doing the wrong thing here, because there are a lot of people slipping through my hands who are going into the system of human trafficking, but you have no idea the scale of this. So we can't sit at the edge of the water and try to save like the fish that are about to flop on the shore when there's a whole entire ocean that you don't even know about because you just got here with your guns. You know what I mean? Like, this is a way bigger than you have any idea about, and I've been fighting this battle. And so he joins Tom Hardy, and then the ultimate twist is it's Ali. And Ali kills Tom Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Noah has to face off against his best friend.
Perfect.
And end of the movie, I think Ali probably gets away, but Noah now gets, Michelle Rodriguez or whoever, that little thing at the, we're going to have like a cliffhanger at the end, like, this is my battle now. He's going to take up Tom Hardy's mantle.
Yeah, it has to be at the end, like Michelle Rodriguez, and she was a sniper. But then if you really just have like one more person, like cameo, that could catapult the second one.
Like the whole cast of Fast and Furious.
Yeah, I'm thinking like if you have Michelle Rodriguez with her sniper there, and
Ludicrous.
she's like, "What's wrong?" Like basically, what's wrong with the islands? And then she's like, "We're here to help." And he's like, "Who's we?" And then out of the shadows comes, Dwayne the Rock Johnson. You're like, "What? That's the crew."
John Cena.
I know Dwayne the Rock
Yeah.
Johnson. We're thinking,
Yeah, of course.
but it's fun. But Jason Momoa wants to work with Dwayne too, and I'm like, this would be like an action-packed
so cool, man. It'd be
craziness.
so cool. Yeah, I think so. Those are my ideas for twists. Like, just make the best friend the bad guy. I think everyone will probably see it coming from a mile away. But if you let him die in that explosion, you keep all those things that we had, or you had written. And when he comes back, he does come back to help Noah. So he comes back as a good guy. He fights the battle with Noah until they reach Tom Hardy. Then that's when the big reveal is. So that would be my idea for twists. Tom Hardy's not bad. Ali's the bad guy. And then, the last thing I would say that we left off the last episode is I think we should put a little money out there into like the world of Fiverr and online artists and see if people come back to us with crazy guns.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, even if it's not good, I think it will inspire us.
All right, I'm gonna go on Fiverr right now. We're gonna do this live. Luke, you might need to clean this up and tighten it because I'm gonna be like browsing on Fiverr for a minute.
Do want a crab?
I'm gonna look up concept artist. Oh, some of these people are amazing.
Yeah,
like some of these people are actually like really
mean,
good.
I feel like some of the crazier ones, obviously, like this one's like one. I mean, they're pretty like.
I'm gonna type in cool guns on my phone and see what comes up.
Can you post a job here like like you can in Upwork? Post a request. Seeking concept art for interesting guns.
The dumbest Glock build ever. What is this? Is this real? Oh,
That's perfect, whatever that is. It's
Brass
knuckles
with a shiv at the end.
revolver. Brass knuckles revolver with a shiv.
Oh my god.
Oh, with foldable shiv.
What? Horrible handgun design.
Here you go,
Horrible.
here you go. Flamethrower knife. machine gun.
Flamethrower knife machine gun.
There you go, dude.
Definitely brass knuckle revolver. I love this.
Brass knuckle revolver is a grenade gun, not a grenade launcher. A gun that is like made of grenades.
looking up like what are the guns? I'm just trying to think like crossbow. What are their modifications? What would it?
Like
I'm looking up like
laser
crazy
stuff,
like gun crazy gun.
incendiary rounds.
Yeah, definitely like the
explosive
actual ammo. We got to remember.
rounds.
Yeah, explosive ammo
Or like the ammo, like buckshot, but like a smart buckshot. So like it shoots out a bunch of tiny bullets, but then they like explode and shoot other tiny bullets.
Is this a thing? A smart ammo.
Yeah, I don't know, like
Smart bullet.
yeah, like a bullet. Buckshots that like track like a
New
swarm or
smart bullets
something.
are able to change direction midair. That's not real.
Isn't that from the
What?
movie Wanted?
Yeah.
No. Bend the
Yeah,
bullet.
you
That's
just
not
spin
the
it.
bullet. That's the person.
Yeah, the
They're
person.
like
You gotta get
special.
trained, dude.
Right,
You
right,
gotta
right.
Train
So
your swing.
I can't
That's fair enough.
believe you said that.
Yep.
Those Jason McAvoy is
Every one of
the
these
chosen
movies
one.
is the good guy becomes the bad guy. I got, like this Ali thing is like this. He better be the bad guy, or this is not one of these genre movies.
You're right.
Maybe we shouldn't do it for that very reason. You know what I mean?
No, we should do it for that reason because that's the movie we're making. Right? We're making
right.
a blockbuster. We want all.
We
the
wanna
Fast and
deliver.
Furious characters shooting guns. Smart bullets. Like I feel like like a buckshot that like swarms or something crazy would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm looking up like
super far like shots would be interesting. So like
super far shots, super close shots.
super close shots, like 10-mile away, like sniper or something.
Yeah, we got to remember ammo is part of it. Ammo.
Like acid rounds, or like you shoot it and it like explodes with acid rain coming down.
I'm looking up some like videos. Who knows if this is real of like certain ammo.
I mean,
Oh, this is
armor
the Russian guy.
piercing, shoot through like bulletproof glass. A bullet that's like super hot, so it just like melts through everything.
Is it possible?
Or like cauterizes the wound, like so it goes through the person and it's so hot it like seals the wound. Up,
what would
like,
you be
as it
calling
goes
like
through.
what is this what
Would be
you're
fucking sick.
describing is what? Ammo modifications? What is it?
Yeah,
Uh,
like
I think it's just I really don't know, like the
Is it
rounds,
possible?
like gun round modifications.
Gun round modifications. Are you just making a fiver like, hey, can you
Yeah.
write this movie?
I shouldn't have put $25 if it likes too much. I wrote seeking concept art for interesting guns. We are developing a story in which the main character is a gun designer. He's inspired by both modern and classic guns, and he builds very unrealistic guns in his shop. We are looking for artists to send us concept art for interesting guns. They can be weird, crazy, unrealistic, or even hilarious. Use your imagination. There's no getting it wrong. Budget $25. I should probably
Budget $25.
I should make it $5.
This is on the podcast,
Shouldn't
right?
I?
That's so good.
I should make
we
it $5.
need something that's like
Yeah.
Because then we
more-
could buy like 50.
yeah, and they'll be like way more like like sketchy. Like,
You're right. They'll be funnier.
yeah,
Okay.
like it's gonna be someone just going.
Yeah,
on
like,
Google
are
and, like,
exploding bullets real? Probably not, right?
matching-
That's what I'm trying to
yeah,
figure out.
like
Like,
a buckshot kind of, or like a after the fact, like a pipe bomb bullet kind of thing.
I don't think
I
it's real.
I think
Yeah,
we're
don't
about to
really know.
patent
I mean,
something,
I think
but
we're,
when,
like,
while we write this
more
movie.
than- you're probably getting into like a grenade launcher style kind
How
of
do you
weapon.
projectile
yeah, a bullet
something
that,
that,
like,
doesn't
explodes.
explode right when the hammer hits it?
Oh,
know what
here
I
you
mean?
go.
I mean, there's explosive rounds for sure, but I don't know, like
Flechette bullets shoots 2 or more metal wires or dart-style bullets. Dragon's breath type of ammunition for shotguns that shoots out sparks and flames up to about 100 feet or further.
what?
Bolo ammunition consists of 2 or more projectiles connected by a wire, which when fired can wrap around the target. This is what
Okay,
we
yeah,
need.
those are like
Mhm.
Hollow nose or dum-dum ammo is designed to expand on impact. He needs to be explaining this when he's at like the
Yeah.
table. You
Oh,
want to
those
like
are hollow
know.
bullets. Yeah.
Okay. Can I find more of these? Like, there's got to be. I'm gonna look up Dragon's Breath bullets. So these are good ones. Oops.
So I think
Definitely
we
like
should
a
wrap it
saw
up
blade
here.
gun
And
would
what
be
we should
dope.
do is, we're gonna keep doing research on ammunition and guns.
Yeah.
We're gonna put some job listings out there. See if we get some. Oh my God, that Dragon's Breath is it.
Yeah.
Um,
can you bring it
What?
up on this,
There's
dude?
no way. Look
Bring
up
it
the
up on
video.
this,
Play the
dude.
video of this. There's
Yeah.
no way
I
this is
need to
real. This
see
is gonna be the sickest.
Yeah, this
like
is
this is the sunset scene in the.
12 gauge Dragon's Breath at night.
It needs to be at night. This looks insane. Oh, this is one of
V-
our sponsors. You can't show
Verbo.
this.
Yeah. Wait, is
Is
this
this the video
our
that you-
main character?
Mm-hmm.
So we're about to demonstrate Dragon's Breath ammo, the ultimate in muzzle flash, and we got the most manly person we know, John, to do it. John, can you hear us? Are you ready?
Oh,
What?
That's it.
That's pretty crazy. What?
Dragon's Breath. You're literally shooting a firework out of a
Yeah.
gun.
Which we should. Also
Oh, they got to be
firework
poured on
guns.
gasoline. Has to be poured all over
Oh,
them,
yeah.
and just shooting
Definitely.
Dragon's Breath on people.
Or it's like
Oh,
they
yeah,
come,
he
he gets them
sprays
trapped
it
in a
with
room. And, what the
gasoline
fuck is
first?
that smell, man?
Huh?
Yeah.
Or even there's just a gas sprayer on the gun,
What?
so he just sprays them with gas first.
Oh,
and
okay,
then
it's
he
part of the
shoots
gun.
'em- Shoots them with the like.
Oh, it's like a water gun
Yeah.
built. It's like the side of it is a water gun,
Yeah.
and he just squirts them. And they're like,
and, like,
what
it's
the fuck is
gas,
this, man?
And he fucking
Dragon's Breath.
them.
Okay. Dragon's Breath is a must in this movie.
Just look up.
What the fuck?
Look up a couple more of these. I'm curious.
Just go back.
Look
there's
up
probably, like, more of it.
Bolo. BOLO ammunition. 2 M's.
That's what I thought.
It's just not coming up.
Ammunition. I'm very bad at typing. 12
Yeah,
gauge
so it's
bolo
like-
shotgun round. Too evil to be legal.
Did it not fire? What happened?
Yeah, look. They're like, that's so
Oh my God.
crazy.
Wait, a dumbbell barbell?
Who's Tim
slug?
Hamilton? That's what we need to find because he's probably the actual person.
He's on Fiverr.
Yeah.
Tim
You'll
Hamilton.
see
Hey
the-
man, sell us.
You'll see the listing.
I mean, that's
Hey, can you
insanity.
make a little dumbbell I shoot?
Through Kevlar. We should talk to this guy. He's
Yeah.
developing guns and ammo.
Yeah, this is it.
Aerodynamic profile until it strikes flesh, then it begins tumbling, causing
my
maximum damage. Now let's take a look
Bad.
at the Bolo rounds. or
Outrageous.
Macho Gacho. These exotic rounds, complete with their exotic price, are restricted in some parts of the country, oddly not in California. Costing around 4 times the cost of a traditional Foster slug.
The Argentine
What makes it
cowboy.
so special?
What's a Foster
We use
slug?
a
Is that
clear
just like a
Jedi
normal
hull
slug?
with a clear overshot
I don't know.
on top to keep everything held inside. Inside we have the projectile itself, right in the shot cup of an MG42 style wadding, normally used for steel shot. The projectile consists of 2 lead
Seems
balls
dangerous for the
connected with
person
a
shooting it too. Maybe that's why his hands are all fucked up.
The lead balls measure roughly half-inch in diameter or about
He's gonna
13
see this
millimeters,
now.
and when spread
Yeah.
That's
apart,
crazy.
the span is about 5 inches. or
That's
about
scary.
What would happen if this hits somebody is what I want to
I
know.
want to, I want to see it hit this target and fucking put a
While the weight of the
20-inch hole in
projectile
it.
is a hefty 36 grams, the weight of the powder load is
Yo,
really
could he
light,
make
within
a double barrel like
range.
sawed off that shoots a huge bolo? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
isn't it like an Australian weapon, the actual bolo? That
Yeah,
you throw
yeah,
it and
yeah.
it wraps up.
Yeah, you just put that together for me right now.
Yeah, I think it
I don't
should
know
be
if it's an
more like a
Australian thing, but yeah,
mace,
you're
though,
right.
like
It's
a
the
You should
spike.
shoot like a
It
massive
should be
bolo.
like a
like,
spiked ball, like a
100%.
mace.
oh my
something.
god. How gory is this movie? Like, are we talking like freaky, like bad or?
I don't.
Gory wise, I'm like whatever. It's more of like just want to show off the cool shit.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
actual like blood and
So it's not.
If it's necessary for the ammo, I would say yes. Because you might want to see the like, what does this do to someone? Like,
Yeah.
if you shot, if it flew through the air, would it rip someone's fucking ear off? And like,
Right.
it would be like ridiculous looking.
Or is like hit, like.
I mean,
rip
that would
their
probably
arm
just
off
cut their
or
legs off.
something?
If he
Yeah,
shot a
like-
big
A big
bolo,
one, it would cut their legs off.
cut him. It would
Yeah,
cut him
like,
clean in
yeah.
half,
And
probably.
would that be possible? It's like a can. Does he roll a cannon out? And he's like,
Yeah, yeah.
How big does it need to be? Like
I don't know.
that, like 2 balls like that. I mean, like it's
Yeah, I
a
mean, it's
fat
pretty
shotgun.
gun, yeah.
You go,
Or I mean, maybe it's like the musket. or
biggest
something,
bolo
or like
round.
a
biggest bolo round.
blunderbuss that he makes. And
He shot a
uses it.
20-pound lead plate.
Those things buried themselves into this
What?
lead plate, not very deep, but still
What?
impacted.
That's
And
kind of
you can
crazy.
see on camera there, little tiny steel cable fibers, where one ball is stacked on top of the other ball with the cables.
Oh God!
Wow.
Imagine getting hit with
Accurate,
that.
too, you know? That was
Yeah.
20 yards maybe.
20 yards.
Just
and,
rip apart your insides.
button.
Rip right through you.
Look at that.
Probably sever your spine if you got the right shot.
Used a little piece of sticker.
Made a nice little deep hole there. Look at that. And there's the cable all mashed up inside.
What?
We have a low resolution but very high frame rate of 38,000 frames a second. But we can clearly see that there's absolutely no separation of the 2 balls. They're actually touching.
That was a great shot.
contact. What's up, dope boy? Okay, 22 yards.
What?
Okay. He put a sideways hat on it and said something.
Yep.
A little sus.
Hear that smack?
Yeah.
Oh, doughboy, he said.
Here is the projectile as we found it in the Kevlar. Now it's important to note that we were able to just pull these balls apart, so there was no fouling or knocking.
Yeah, this is a
I think it's
podcast
like a
supposed to be
double
speaking, but
barrel.
it's basically just a cable holding these 2 bullets and just
Like,
completely annihilating things. I think the problem is it's too much like a bullet, and we're kind of seeing like, does that cable wire become more of like a
yeah, I think it's like
yeah,
a
there you go,
double-
like that spread it apart and you kind of saw the okay.
Yeah.
Rational gun owner. I think that's probably it for the podcast, like you said.
All right.
But I like the ammo can be very interesting, and
Yeah.
can we talk to someone like this and be like, is it even possible to get a bolo round that's 10 times the size of that?
And then
And what would it do?
beyond that, where are our boundaries for this movie of that could never, would never happen versus like,
Just make it
this
happen.
is great.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, we got to find that line because some of it is definitely not going to be real.
I think I would like for someone to be like, that
Maybe.
yeah, that could
You know, like,
yeah, that's
okay,
gonna take
okay.
a lot of craftsmanship, but yeah,
Yeah.
sure, you can do that. It won't be accurate,
Right.
and it's like, yeah, that's kind of not the point. The accuracy.
Okay.
The
So we're
more
trying
the-
to get like you're towing toward more real. You know, you're leaning on the more
I'm
realistic
telling towards
side.
more real, but not practical. Like,
Sure.
because really, think about it. The brass knuckle Magnum, not practical, but he likes to make these things. That's a hobby.
Mhm.
And then he brings it to a show, and that's what he has to use. So he's showing
Yeah.
up to someone's house and punching them with the brass knuckles and shooting them with a musket.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, it's probably not accurate. It's not anything.
What's the movie Pineapple Express? Maybe they smoke the joint that's like 3. It's like the cross or something.
Yeah,
And he makes
yeah.
a gun that shoots out 3 sides.
Oh, yeah.
It goes the 2
Ooh,
sides.
That's
Like,
great.
there's literally almost never a time you need it.
That's
gotta
exactly
get-
what it is.
yeah.
There's never a time you need any of these guns, but
Yeah.
that's the point of the gun convention. I think we need to make actually Jason Momoa like say that. I think, or is he can't be known because he was in Blackwater, but like I think he has to have a lot of background and very well knowingly that these guns are not usable. I think that might even go to him, like, does he go to another table and look at their guns and knows everything about them? You know, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this dude is like, and does he talk to someone about it? And he's like, oh, that's my table. Like, it's a hobby. It's all and he's like, oh, I saw them. They're cool, like, but they're not practical.
Yeah.
How do we like maybe phrase that so like the audience knows? The audience isn't stupid,
So-
but
I don't want to derail it too much. I'm just wondering, does it make sense if I'll just start, what if he went to the expo not with his crazy dumb guns, but he went to the expo as like a keynote speaker. Like he's one of the best gun makers in the world.
Right? Is he known?
And you already had mentioned Tom Hardy's trying to give him a job for Koa. So like he could, I'm just thinking hypothetically that could be a separate plot line that's planted in the beginning. Like I make all these dumb guns that have nothing to do with anything, and then he goes there as just an ambassador for ethical weapons building and like the future of weapons and how we can change everything to incapacitate versus kill. Change everything from kill to stun or whatever it is. Just like we don't need to be as barbaric. Whatever. I'm just throwing it out there as a possibility that he reaches a point. He goes to this expo. He does the thing. He sees other people. He's an expert. It's not like a huge thing where he shows off all his guns, but he reaches a point in the story where he has to go get all his guns. It's we can stew on it. It doesn't have to be that.
Well, now I'm thinking a mix. You have my brain kind of going here. So what I think is he does have. I like him still bringing the guns, but I like him also someone maybe bringing him up to talk. And maybe this is too much setup at this point, but I'm thinking like we want to see almost the guns in action right away. This might be too much, but would a gun convention have like an indoor like crazy? It could.
Sure.
Shooting range.
Sure.
And
absolutely.
It's all like bulletproofed off, and they all take their guns in there, and they're like, let's see what you can do. Maybe someone tries to like, yeah, right, you think this? And he's like, I know your weapons. My weapons aren't as good, but I think I can do this. And he sets up. So you know how there's stations at shooting ranges? When you pick it up at the station, you do the thing, and you go to the next one?
Yeah,
Maybe it's one of those, and everyone sees him in action. They're like, yo, this dude's insane.
Okay, that's cool.
That's showing some action already. I don't know if that's too much, but then at least you have like a little bit of like, hey, these guns do work. Yeah, they're not practical, but I know how to use them. Number one, I understand they're not practical. You have maybe him speaking to as a keynote speaker or something like that as well. But is it too much setup? And then you're like, okay, we're at this convention for fucking 10 pages.
Not necessarily.
But it's not because we're almost in the new world now.
What I'm thinking of is I'm thinking of two movies. I'm thinking of Indiana Jones.
Okay.
When they come to him and he's at his lecture.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of what's the Angels and Demons movie? The first one.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing.
And Conjuring, same thing. Like
yeah,
the lecture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be long. Like, I don't know. There's like maybe there's something there for the audience to understand. Like, oh, this guy knows a lot of stuff. Maybe they do want to see. Maybe he is doing a musket demo. Maybe he's just demoing like the first guns ever, leading up to like now we have smart bullets. That are literally changing direction. Where does it ethically stop? And it's just him posing a question or something, and then he's approached at the end. I don't know. We can sit on this.
I like him being forced to go there by the wife because he's like, I don't want to go into the city. I like that.
Yeah, we keep all that.
And then how do we make him? I like the ethical speech, and how do we incorporate that?
He could be in a keynote that Tom Hardy is giving, and Tom Hardy could call him out because he's in the back of the room. He's like, "Do you know that we have literally a like history maker here? Just a sidebar. He could just be really rich too. He could be like have a patent on like you know what I mean. Like he lives on the side of a cliff in Hawaii. He could just be loaded. Who cares? Like it's not part of his character really, other than.
And that's great with the ethics of like maybe
if he has like a patent on like hammer technology or something with ammo,
like
and he's and that's where the debate. It's really like kind of where the thematic debate. Guns don't kill people, people kill people.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the line ethically when your guns are so good that they're, that good people can do damage? Like I don't know, but maybe that debate happens like live in front of an audience, and that's where Tom Hardy offers him the job. And he could still be there for his own guns from the expo. I don't know. We're just thinking things through. But let's leave it on ice for a little bit.
Yeah.
And when we come back, hopefully we have some drawings from Fiverr. Otherwise, we're going to continue to beat this one off screen, and then
beat this one off.
Yeah, we're going to beat it off screen, and then hopefully come back with some action pages that we can read you guys. And just as a little bit of looking into the future. We're still kind of working on Darwinism, and why I say kind of working, I mean we put it on the back burner because we started writing Under the Boards, which was one of Dave's pitches. So hopefully we'll have a script to bring to you guys soon. We can read some actual
How many pages? Yeah, it was like 40 pages.
We're
sir?
at page 40, I think,
Yeah.
of Under the Boards. So stick around, and we will maybe finish a script this year.